What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined as always by Daniel Coale, DC, UPenn's finest, Chris Coulter, CB, Culture Boy. We got another great episode for you guys today. We will be talking basically all NBA this episode. What team should be buying, selling, or standing pat at the trade deadline as it approaches, and kind of going hand in hand with that. What players could use a fresh start? What players should probably hang in there with their team for another year, see if they can figure this thing out. Or are they kind of cooked regardless? Whether that means, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they need to retire or that they're no good. It's just that what you are is what you are. And there are instances where, yes, maybe said players should retire, but what you are is what you are. And of course,
Paul George.
Dude just got here like 6 months ago, dude. But of course, before we get into any of that, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to this channel, and then you'll see our personal channel in the description. Make sure you go subscribe to that as well. Audio listeners, same as always. Leave a like, follow the show, download if you really enjoy it, 5-star review, all the good stuff. But let's swing it to Danny for Summits and Plummets.
Yeah, we were just talking about before the show a little bit. On my summit, it's going to be at Angelo's cheesesteak today. Never a bad day when you have a cheesesteak in the city of brotherly love. Kicking off the week correctly. So for people that don't know, Angelo's is closed on Monday and Tuesday. In the old Italian fashion, they start off the week by not being open on Monday and Tuesday. Don't know why.
Yeah. That's how you know the place is really good, though. I do have to say it's disappointing. Don't know why it's Monday and Tuesday specifically, because I'm pretty sure Carmira's is closed on Mondays. No,
probably.
Are they?
I don't know why these Italian restaurants and delis and
I know Don's was open on Mondays, and Mondays was arguably our busiest day because no one else was open. But
the owner of Don's doesn't really correlate to Italian deli owner, so
fair.
But I digress. Plummet. So the plummet of the week is going to be the lack of direction of not only the Pittsburgh Steelers, but it seems like a lot of teams in the AFC North outside of the Ravens.
Your favorite team is supposed to bring you joy. Why are you coming up here? The Steelers are your plummet every week.
Never joy.
You're supposed to be free from their shackles.
There's no shackles to it. But no, in reality, I want to before it's not too much of a football episode. I do want to mention Bengals improve by getting rid of Lou Anarumo controversy. They bring in a guy from Notre Dame. Phenomenal signing.
Yeah, got lots of good hires. I think happening today and fires. I mean, better late than never.
Bulky.
But
yeah, come on now.
Yeah,
get out of here.
Better late than never. But the Jags got him out of the building. Now they can really go after Ben Johnson.
He picked up Brian Johnson. So good GM if you ask me.
Good
moves.
Brian good Thompson, moves, yeah. I say. Good moves. Let's go to wrap up before we go to Chris.
Yeah, we'll swing it to Chris. We got plenty of NBA to talk today on this lovely evening before we get it over tomorrow.
Yeah.
How's the snowstorm treating you in Dallas?
There's no snow here no more. It's just cold, bro. Just cold.
I saw NOLA. It's crazy.
Yeah, no ice, no nothing. It's pretty regular out here. Yeah, my sister's in New Orleans, and I talked to her today, and her being a Chicago baby like me, she was like, bro, it's like 5 inches of snow, and people are going crazy here. And I was like, lucky you don't have to go crazy because you're ready. But I think, Plummet is. I keep forgetting this the other way. My wrist is hurt. I don't know why. Left wrist. By the way.
Bust down my AP.
That's exactly what he did when he showed me.
Why did my fist was balled up? I literally could have had it like this, but I love Shador. But I don't know what's wrong with me. It may be old age, personally. Oh yeah, we're treacherous twins.
We're mine.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, Danny, get you a wrist wrap so you can be
triplets.
Locked in. Yeah, get you one. Or don't, because I'm old. And I told Tony this because I said I have no clue when I hurt my wrist. I don't know why it's hurting. It just hurts. I think that's just old age stepping up on me. I literally am Pop's uncle or grandpa, whichever one you want. So Plummet. Summit. I have a bunch of cool things coming up. I'll just say we made it to hump day. work week, regular week, everything's good. I know that's pretty plain, but it's always a blessing to make it through the next day. And hump day is always the one to tell you what the week's almost over. So that's why I'm happy.
Amen.
And also, Jalen Johnson, Duke alum, dunked on Jalen Duran today. Jalen on Jalen crime. That was cool to see, but I think that's it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day to get through the week. You're like, the week's almost done. The weekend is closer than the weekend used to be.
Yes, and think about when you wake up tomorrow, you're like, it's already Thursday. It's almost Friday. As soon as you wake up, then you get home from work. It's basically
you get
Friday.
noon, and you're like,
I
oh my
think
God,
we
I have
could-
half day and plus Friday.
That's what I'm saying. That's
If
exactly-
someone, and obviously this is a very not serious, debate. If someone was to be like, Thursday's part of the weekend, go ahead. I love Thursday. Now, Thursday is obviously much more emphasized during the season because, like, oh, you have Thursday night football. Dude, my weekend has started. Like Friday, yeah, I have work. I mean, I work on the weekends anyway, but who really, like, I'm going home doing nothing after this anyway. But no, I have to agree. It's always good to hit Wednesday. Especially me, like I usually open on Thursdays, so then it's kind of like after I get off work, it's like, yeah, my weekend has started again. Anyway,
that is decent, low key.
Really, the only reason the weekend's good for me because it means that everyone else is off. Like my schedule is going to be all out of whack. It's retail, so it's more so the stamp that,
we're almost there.
Yeah. But if I had to go, I'll start with a summit. And this could be my summit for the next 3 episodes until the album drops. But the Weeknd's Hurry Up Tomorrow is almost out. We are about 9 days, according to his Twitter. The funniest thing, I saw someone saying, like, starting on Monday, if each day you listen to one of his albums up until Friday where he drops his new one. But, and this sounds like a bunch of, like, foreign language. But his album Thursday, the person didn't have it on Thursday. It was on Tuesday. And everyone's like, yeah, I get you're supposed to go in order, but like we're listening to Thursday on Thursday. I don't know. I thought it was real funny, but Thursday's part of the trilogy, which trilogy is one of my favorite albums, even though I'm technically not all the way, I guess, caught up, you could say. I'm not familiar with every song just yet. I've listened to it once through, but my thing is I'll like a song. I'll find like 2 or 3 songs of an album that I like, and I'll just run them into the ground until I find 3 new songs that I like from them. So that aside, I guess if I had to go with we'll cross that out. We'll do a double summit. I guess it was kind of situation last year, but this is the first year that's kind of leads into what we're doing, where the Celtics don't got to do nothing at the trade. I don't need to hear that one of my favorite players could be moved to the deadline. I had to hear for years with Marcus Smart. I even had to hear sometimes with Tatum and Brown when they were pups. So good to have a nice stress-free trade deadline, unless like the Cavs manage to get like, I don't know, LeBron James.
The special piece for them is Kelly
LeBron.
That does it. That helps a lot. You get
Kelly Oubre.
I
mean, I would say Jimmy Butler, but he's a little bit pricey.
Yeah, I'm cool on
and
Jimmy.
could cost them Dean Wade, I'm afraid, and that's where I draw the line.
And chemistry, by the way.
Exactly. But while we're talking about all this, we might as well get into buy, sell, or stay.
I love this. I wanted to talk about. I came up with. I remembered something that could be a potential summit or plummet, depending on the outcome tomorrow. But so I passed all my agility stuff for PT. I go for strength testing tomorrow. If I test that, fully cleared so we'll be good and back ramping up for our 7-on-7 league. We're trying to get a team together in the spring. So beautiful. That means, Chris, it's been years. We can get summer basketball together. It's weird. Tony, our friend group doesn't play basketball if me and Tony don't organize. It's really weird.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, that is kind of true. Even when we do try, it's still very hard. But
Yeah.
yeah. But speaking of
Yeah.
some basketball, let's really get into these buy,
NBA
sell, or
team.
stay. Yeah, the pros. Certainly
Yeah.
not
Not
Tony and Danny at Garnet Valley at 9 p.m.
met Danny Green, Tony
Yeah.
Dungy and Danny Green. Oh, I don't know.
So we'll run through every team. Not every team will be, a serious discussion. There are teams that are a clear stand pat, a clear should be selling, a clear should be buying. Well, we'll just go down the line real quick. Cavs, buy, sell, stay.
Bye.
I mean, they should be buying. But the reality is, I don't think their team can do too much more. So I can see them staying.
I would agree. I see them staying. Buy if it's the right cost.
I think it's the right piece. I don't think it's a cost matters.
Well, piece and cost. So Jimmy Butler is just the flat out ideal three for this team, but he is an expensive contract who needs an extension and will cost you some of your depth that you've worked very hard to build up. So
You know, the timeline either.
exactly, So if they're looking to get someone, they have to be young. They already got to have some years on their contract, and it can't cost you too much. So in that world, it's like,
So Jason,
maybe they should be buying, but they really don't got the goods to be buying, or no one has the goods for them to be buying.
I got
you
the
can have Joel
I think
Embiid
I'm a mistake too. Well, Chris, you said buy. So what could you have in mind for them?
Yeah, so it's a couple people I have in mind. I think the perfect piece for the Cavs is Keldon Johnson from the Spurs, and I think you can move either Strus or Levert's deal. Levert's on a expiring. I think the Spurs probably like that even more. I know Keldon's making 19 million. I think Strus is at like 15. And I do think you need Strus shooting, but if you're going to be playing Dean Wade and Sam Merrill, I think you can afford to do that. And I think Keldon's the perfect three for them. I think it's a combination of what Keldon and what Karras can bring. I mean, what Karras and Okoro can bring. So I think he'd be the perfect move, and it's a marginal move at that point because you don't have to move much money. It's only one. You could do contract to contract with that Spurs trade. So I think that'd be like the type of buy. So I'm with what y'all were saying. Like I think it has to be the right move, but I think a move like that would be one of those where because you need wings because in the East you got to beat the Celtics, you got to beat the Knicks. Like those are the teams up there, and they have good wings. I think you just need to update your wings. I think a move like that, I guess you can call it marginal. A marginal move like that would be something I could see them doing.
You're so selfish, dude. You want to see Giannis get a dude who shoots 40% from three? I mean, Wemby. You want to see Wemby get a guy who shoots 40% from three?
Yeah, because it helps both sides. You need spacing for Wemby. You need I feel like you need a forward that you can play on the Cavs that can do two things. I think either forward they put in can either just shoot or play defense, and neither can do both. And then look, Wemby averaged 6 assists. Then what?
So Wemby was the first one to average 30, 14, 6, and like 5 blocks.
He averages a 4x5. He is the GOAT. That's how I.
You're not too far off right now.
We shall see. LeBron is a very high landmark. Well, let's keep trotting down the list. Celtics, buy, sell, stay.
Stay.
I think they're staying until proven guilty, I guess. The Knicks, buy, sell, stay. I say stay at the moment.
I think they can stay with the caveat that some of their pieces could be moved. Some of their lower depth pieces could be moved. Maybe first, like they almost have too much depth that doesn't play.
Because they're not good.
I can see where you're coming from. Yeah, but I'll say you get to the end of their bench. These are a lot of guys who used to be rotational players for other teams that didn't have good depth. Landry Shamet used to be a depth piece for the Suns, and they clearly weren't deep enough.
Yeah, that's my point. Like they might be able to dig out like a second round pick or maybe recoup a first round pick back by packing some of these guys.
I would say they have a serious 8.
Yeah, they
And
did
then
8-man
it's
rotation.
very unserious.
Does that include Mitchell Robinson?
Does that include Mitch? No.
Yeah, I'm about to say
It doesn't include Mitch. It's Jalen, Josh Hart, Cat, Mikhail, OG, Deuce McBride, Campaign, Precious Achua.
Boom.
Maybe
Man,
you could
Beal-
upgrade
Beal
those
pressure?
7, 8, but I mean, Campaign's been, I think, a fine backup guard. Maybe championship level teams have a higher level 6 or backup guard than that.
But they can get away with it though, because he probably plays 10 minutes in the max in the playoffs. Because Brunson's getting 40, so they might be.
No, not just Brunson.
Yeah, Brunson, Hart's gonna play 50 minutes of a 48-minute basketball game. Like,
I saw something. Out of trios of players playing like together in the NBA, the Knicks have like 7 combinations out of the top 10 that have played the most minutes together.
I bet, dude. I really bet. So we're essentially stay, but
I think buy low. That's what I say.
Okay, I think they low
Mm-hmm.
buyers, maybe make some minimal moves on the back end, but nothing crazy, nothing groundbreaking, especially with you won the offseason with that trade for Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, who would have, I can't even explain how great I think he's been this year. Let's keep going down the list.
Their other offseason move was pretty bold too.
Getting Mikhail, that's worked out beautifully. Paying OG, that's a high contract to live up to, but it's not like we're out here saying he's the worst contract in sports.
Paying Brunson some pennies.
He is a much better man than me.
He crazy.
Not me, dude. I would.
But let's go to this next team, the Bucks. I think it's in their name. You buy using Bucks. I think they should be buyers.
Yeah.
I mean, they should add while they have Giannis and Damian Lillard. Can they actually win a championship? Probably not. They need an elite level wing in order to stop the Celtics, in order to stop the Knicks. And I don't know if they can find an elite level wing on the market.
Yeah, I mean, it's word they might be in the running for Jimmy Butler, and I think that would be.
Well, they can't beat him. Join him.
Yeah, vice versa. We can't beat him. Bring him in. That would be pretty funny. And they would probably have to ship out Chris Middleton in said deal. Which, I think, I know the city loves Chris, NBA champion, has hit many big shots over the year for them. You only got Damian Lillard and Giannis in their prime for however many years. And Jimmy, of course, this would be an all-in level move, but I'd be for it.
And Fish Middleton can go.
We'll talk more about Jimmy Butler situation entirely on where we think he may go or not. But just wanted to note that they're kind of in the running. Chris, where do you stand on Milwaukee?
I think it should be buyers. But I think it's like marginal moves. I think I like the third like pseudo star instead of like a third like big name like a LaVine or something like that. I'd rather them get like a third guy who could really just fit over there. But I think they need more depth. I think they're a team that needs, because I think they can probably go about 6 deep comfortably right now, and I don't think that's enough. So they need. But like I was saying about the Knicks, they could be a buyout market team too, depending on how second apron and those teams work. I know they're trying to get under it, but I think those teams need to be on that buyer side of buying low because they already don't have much money to move around for.
All right, let's move on to the Pacers. 24-19, are on a little bit of a hotter streak. 8 of their last 10. Buy, sell, or stay.
Sell.
Yes. Really? Who do you think what should they be selling? Or do you think they should be tanking or how?
Selling to buy, right? And so hear me out. I think Ben Mathurin is probably the most important piece on that team, not named Tyrese Halliburton. But the way the team's constructed right now, he's never going to be past the third option, right? So knowing that, if you really want to compete with this Siakam, Halliburton, Turner trio, I think you sell to buy. You sell on Mathurin, which I think Mathurin is really good. I think Mathurin has Anthony Edwards type potential, same body type, same scoring size. I think you sell him and another person to get a Butler, or not necessarily Jim Butler, but you know what I'm saying, like a guy of that caliber if available, to get a LaVine. I think you buy them because I think Mathurin's been waiting in the wings a little bit because he can't really take off too much because you got Nimbar back there. You got a lot of pieces. So I think if that's the case, if you really want to compete, like you said, they've been on the hottest streak, I would do something like that.
Yeah, Chris, I agree with you. Indiana's biggest superstar doesn't play men's basketball; they play women's basketball, and that's like thinking about it that way.
Yeah.
They don't have and that's not even a knock to like the men's team. Clayton Clark's awesome, but like they do not have a bona fide superstar. I thought Halliburton's that. It's not him, obviously, after this year. Siakam's just awesome. He's like an elite. Siakam is like,
he's just a dang good player.
I was just he's an elite level role player almost.
I wouldn't call Siakam. I don't know if I call Siakam a role.
He's
player.
not a role player, but he's like an elite level
borderline
role player.
fringe all-star would be more his count. There's definitely a gap between borderline all-star and an elite role player for sure, because he's definitely better than Mikal Bridges,
but
he's the elite role player.
Is Pascal better than Josh Hart though in real life? Like production-wise, yes. Is he better than Josh Hart? And Josh Hart is an elite role player. Let's talk about it. That's all. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
He better than Josh Hart.
He's not better than Josh Hart.
Chris, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. Not that it's a bad thing. I have no clue where this love that you have for Josh Hart came from. It's entirely warranted.
It's because he plays basketball, dude. He plays basketball like he's a. He gets boards. He crashes.
He plays basketball like his body's disposable.
It's two reasons why.
Yeah,
he does exactly what your team needs. Even if he's not really that good at it, like Josh Hart's never been a playmaker. 7 assists every other night. He's 6'3", but rebounds better than your center. And I just respect it. And that's why I said that's the elite level guy you need. Because what was Towns' problem? Why they brought in Gobert? He didn't rebound enough. He didn't do this and that. Now Towns can just go rebound whenever he feels like, because you got Josh Hart playing as hard as he can. Now I like Siakam too, but in real life, Siakam is your number 2, which has been on Indiana. What are you really competing for?
Nothing.
But Siakam is your 3. Siakam is your 3. Your championship team. Your championship team. Siakam is your 3. Championship team.
We saw it happen already.
Hold on, wait. We're talking as the third, because Josh Hart isn't the third scoring option.
No. I'm just a third guy. Period. I think Siakam as a second guy, you make the playoffs and you probably can get out the first round. But if Siakam's your third, you probably in the championship. That's what I'm saying that's what I meant by elite level role player. I think he's a great third.
I guess the discussion could be had.
I think Siakam's a better basketball player than.
The Sixers replaced Paul George with Siakam. They are a 10 times better team.
Ooh.
Siakam, okay, I can agree with that because Siakam can defend, he can shoot threes, and he doesn't absorb the need for shots that Paul George does. Well, he still is a volume scorer. He brings so much to the basketball, and so does PG. But PG's like, I also need 18 shots a game, and it's just like,
and he's 5 years older.
Maxey needs 20 shots. Embiid needs 22 shots.
Yo, did Siakam signed at like 16 years old? Because I feel like he's in the league for like forever.
When they made that championship run, he was a pup. He was like 1 year removed from the G League. Yeah. He was a baby, dude. He was awesome. OG was a baby around that time. OG was a pup.
And guess what he was awesome at? Being a third guy on the championship team. That's what he is. That's my guy.
Streets are saying he was the second best player in the finals.
He was, but he was still a third guy. Kyle Lowry hooped.
He definitely was.
He was in the finals.
Anyway, another point I want to make about this Pacers team, though. I agree with the sell Nembhard.
I love Nembhard.
I do too, but he's a Jalen Brunson waiting to happen. I know how good this dude can be. I know he's got greatness in him.
Because he can't do anything.
Because he can't blossom. He can't blossom. But other teams
sell Halliburton.
No, I'm cool. I don't know about that. I don't know if Nembhard will be as good as Jalen Brunson. I'm just saying it's a similar situation. I don't think Tyrese Halliburton cracked an All-NBA team. I'm like, last year they deemed he was one of like the 20 best players in basketball. So I don't know about that.
But true.
Maybe we should
look. You got to respect the hot run. If he was hot for half the season, and he wasn't the worst thing ever in the back half, I don't know. Let's move on.
Man, I had people telling me he's better than LaMelo.
No. Let's move on to this next team, though. Of course, this will be very interesting. The Atlanta Hawks, 6th seed in the East, 22 wins, 20 losses. Kind of looks like every other season of theirs. But what are we thinking for this team? I mean, you have some players who have really stepped it up Chris talked about it last week. I mean, DeAndre Hunter has been great for this team this season. Jalen Johnson, the most obvious jump we were ever going to see. Dyson Daniels. What's his nickname? The Great Barrier Thief. Best nickname in basketball.
Elite.
Trae Young doing his normal thing. Probably a little less points than usual, but the assists are up. Go figure.
Diff.
What do we think for this team, Chris?
Stay.
Man, dude, for me personally, I think you just hold, bro, because it's nothing out there right now that gets you better for real. And because I think you only really upgrade at the center right now, because your fours there, Jalen Johnson's there, Hunter's there, Daniels and Trae. You only really upgrade at the 5 right now, and I don't really know if there's any 5s that would be available to even make sense to upgrade that. Like, to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind Vooch. Over there, like a floor spacing center, because I've never seen Trae with one. Always had a roller. But then again, you still run into a problem with defending at the rim. So, like I said, I don't really know if it's a move that would make sense, especially with them how they're playing right now. You probably kind of just got to ride it out again. So I would just say hold.
Me personally, I hate that there's teams that are okay with not being all in. The Hawks seem like a team that never make the move to go all in. And if trading for DeJounte Murray was their move to go all in, then
I think it was, but that was a very pathetic attempt.
That's what I'm saying.
You can see from a mile away, him and Trae just wasn't going to work.
It wasn't going to work the way they thought it was. But
in my opinion,
I just think NBA teams, there's too many teams caught in the middle ground. Like the Celtics, they made their move, went all in, got rid of the stars. They won a championship. I don't like these teams that are like the Hawks, that are like teetering between going all in or being a group full of G Leaguers.
Well, I would love to know what you have to say about the Bulls when we get there in a couple spots, because they're the definition of that. I think
what does all it look like for the Hawks? Like, what does that even look like? Like, what do they do?
They would probably have to get rid of Onyeka Okongwu. Like, Jalen Johnson's probably a part of a deal for a superstar. It's just like, nah, like.
And what superstar is available? That's my thing.
There's exactly. Yeah, no, there's no real stars of it, unless you want to tap in with the Suns and be like, yeah, like, what's Devin Booker doing? Kevin Durant got no problem trading teams. What's KD doing?
Right, I don't think there's nobody available.
Call the Warriors, like, you want to blow it up. Give us Steph Curry. It's tough. Like, it's very like low possibility stuff, especially for someone. Jimmy Butler's not worth Jalen Johnson.
Ask for LeBron James.
Yeah.
The move is really Anthony Davis. Honestly, if the Lakers were going to be bad, I would ask, hey, Jalen Johnson, Okongwu, does that interest you as a start?
It might.
Just say as a start.
Yeah, if you could talk. Yeah, you could
have Reese. You
could gotta go. Get him out of there.
Come on now, he's just a pup. He was really.
He a clone of Jalen Johnson, but they can't play together. They're in sync. They're the same player in a good way though. Reese is better than I thought. I thought he was gonna be bad. He's not even bad.
Yo, I thought he was gonna be the worst first overall pick of all time.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's not even bad. He's okay.
Yeah, I mean he's all right. He's all right. That 3-point shot really needs to get it together. But I think Vooch could be interesting. I mean, this defense is like bad anyway. So I mean, like, what's another bad defender? I mean, you're gonna be like the Kings, I guess. But there's not really a move to be made similar to the Cavs, just on a way lesser, not as good scale. Let's move on to Detroit. I think this is the most obvious stay. I would stay. All their free agent signings have panned out. Cade is finally getting the credit he deserves. Jalen Duren is playing great. Isaiah Stewart has been awesome this year. I'm big on stay with them. I would rock with your free agent signings and the young players that you're developing.
I think the coaching signing is the biggest impact on their team. So,
yeah, I think that's fair. But that coaching signing is the reason that all of these players are developing so well. And you have guys like
exactly
Tim Hardaway Jr. and Malik Beasley, who were known like streaky shooters who couldn't really land a spot. Like they look great right now. Cade's easily having the best year of his career. Like, even from the aspect of like, oh, y'all just weren't watching him, or he wasn't healthy. This is clearly like the best version of Cade Cunningham that we've seen.
Yeah, healthy is the most part.
Yeah, I'm team stay. Danny's a buy. Chris, what do you think? The only reason I just think it's a little early for buy, I would say.
Yeah. I'm there. I'm more on the hold side too. I think especially it works out because Jaden Ivey got injured in a bad way. Like y'all know I rock with Jaden Ivey a lot, but I think it helps Asor get more minutes. It's just a lot of players who you will need next year, either in as a trade package or to be on the bench because you made a trade already. I think you just kind of let them guys keep growing and hopefully can get some either play-in or playoff experience, and just kind of rock with that. I don't think there's no reason to really because again, what we said about a lot of these teams, it's nothing really out there available right now to even make sense. Like if you're the Pistons, do you want Brad Beal, Jimmy Butler, Chris Middleton, like any of those guys been talked about? Probably not. So you at least wait till next year to maybe another disgruntled star that's better. I don't know. Anthony Edwards says he's ready to go. I'm not saying that for real, but somebody says they're ready to go, then you jump on that. But I think right now it's just you keep building those players' trade value so when that time comes, you be ready. But I think they hold now.
Orlando Magic. Well, then their record could be a little thrown off. They're 23-22. I think Paolo and Franz have got to play like 5 games together.
Yes. True. Bye.
What do we think? Bye. Okay.
Badly.
Okay.
They need to get a guy because they have so many guys, right? I love Franz and Paolo together. You put a scoring guard. They need a scoring guard. I've been saying this for 2 years. They need a scoring guard very, very badly. Now, that's a team I wouldn't mind getting a LaVine because you're paying guys some money to where you're not really losing nothing too crazy if you go after them. I think they need to buy. I think they need to score. I think they need to try a chance to go all in. I think they can be the 3rd or 4th best team in the East after Cleveland, New York, Boston, or they can be in the mix for those top 4 teams. And I think they should try to. So I would definitely buy 100%.
I love the LaVine.
That
trade idea. Yeah, because he'd walk on the scene and be the best shooter immediately, probably the best 3-level scorer.
A lot of good defense around him already.
Yeah, like it's.
Yeah, I like to call him Elvine because his team only catches L's.
Wow.
Right, Paul George.
Please respect the most mediocre team in the NBA, the Chicago Bulls.
I'm kidding. Are they more
Elvine
mediocre than
Bulls.
Who always gets the 9th pick? Are they more mediocre than
Sixers? Yeah, no.
Sixers? Not mediocre. They're just bad.
Yeah.
Embiid's trailing y'all through. I'm telling y'all, Danny, you need to get rid of him tonight.
I wish.
I wish.
We'll talk more about Embiid later. What do you think? What do you think for the Orlando Magic, Danny? Are they a buy, a sell, or a stand pat?
Is the grass green? Are the Eagles the favorite of the game?
Your answer would be yes. So what's your pick here? Is it buy or sell? Because neither of those are yes.
Yes is buy. We're all big Paolo fans here. I think that getting better players around Paolo is always a good option, and they just like they're so guard centric. Something like the way their team constructed, just it feels like Paolo and friends when Franz is out.
I could get behind that. It's really, I think you really feel that way because there's just no shooting on this team. You signed
at all.
KCP for shooting, and I think he's shooting sub 35%. I could just be making that up, but I'm gonna double check.
I'm gonna say something
shooting
crazy.
32% from 3. Like that's horrible.
The Orlando Magic are the Pittsburgh Pirates of the NBA.
I wouldn't be able to back that opinion because I have no idea.
Phenomenal rookie / young player that is going to do great, have a great career. Organizational failure that doesn't ever try to go all in and win.
Well, the Magic have been competitive for about a year and a half now. Let's not say never.
I mean, the Pirates are sometimes
and
competitive. They're just not good.
I think you're comparing apples to oranges here because the Magic they were the 4 seed last year or 5 seed. They were the 5 seed last year. I think a move for like a LaVine, someone along relatively among the time. LaVine's not really in the timeline, but somebody that can provide some true spacing.
Man, I would have loved them to have like
Vooch,
Mikal Bridges.
That'd be like probably the most ideal fit you could ever have for this team. Or Jalen Suggs could just get to shooting how he was last year.
Yeah.
But
Anthony Black just develops and becomes the best player of all time.
talk soon. Now let's go to the Miami Heat. This is a clear as day sell. Clear as day
Sell the
sell.
team.
And while we're on the topic, I want to
Sell
ask you
Pat
guys,
Riley.
where do you guys see Jimmy Butler ending up?
Well,
Retirement.
I do think they need to sell. I think he ends up in Milwaukee. I think he ends up in Phoenix. Phoenix is the only team desperate enough to take on what Jimmy comes with at this point. And I don't think Jimmy's a bad attitude or anything like that. Now, just he wants out, then I let him out. This is what happens. So I don't think that's anything. But I think the Suns were the only desperate team that would do what he's asking as far as giving him an extension that's 2 to 3 years at this age, at the money he wants. I think it would be them. So I would say the Suns, but I think the Heat need to sell to make room. Hero and Bam are your guys, your two guys, and then you have some pretty good young guys. But I would sell the Jimmy contract you can, try to get off of Terry if you can, something like that. But yeah, that's probably it. But I think Jimmy ends up in Phoenix though.
Man, I definitely see him in Phoenix. You know what? Like, it's not happening ever. And he probably fits the timeline too. I would have loved to see him with LeBron in LA.
That would certainly be interesting. Someone to get Jimmy Butler to play some
I
full-time
have
off-ball offense.
zero interest in seeing Jimmy Butler and LeBron James on the same team. I probably wouldn't be. I probably won't watch the Lakers no more. I probably watch.
You know what's funny?
But
Jimmy
he works
High-Roller,
well like that sometimes.
They thought the same thing.
Look, he didn't work with Westbrook. He's not going to work with a player like Jimmy Butler.
That's fair, but he worked with Embiid. Embiid's ball dominant.
Jimmy Butler literally had to run point guard like midway through the most important series in the franchise's history up until that point, or at least in the last 10 years, because their point guard just like started malfunctioning.
He did,
and he also had to take on. He played with Embiid. That doesn't mean things ended well. Embiid finished the season horribly. Jimmy Butler was about the only like solid thing you could look back on in the last couple games of the series. But what I was saying was Jimmy High-Roller actually broke down a video of what player plays the most like LeBron. And he used a whole bunch of advanced analytics and play style things. And it was Jimmy Butler, which I was like, wow. Because he is one of the few players I've ever looked at, like Bubble Jimmy more specifically, where I'm like, yo, he's really on some Bron stuff right now. One of the very few times I've looked at a wing and thought that. But I digress. I think that's a great point, Chris. And I agree. I think the Suns are the only team desperate enough at this rate to take on the quote theatrics. And
Sixers certainly would,
even more than that, having to deal with the drama of his potential extension this offseason, knowing you have no money.
There you
go. Or the Sixers.
Sixers definitely could if they could make money work.
Yeah, Paul George don't. The Heat probably don't want nothing to do with Paul George only because that 4-year deal. It feels like a 2+1 a team.
Yo, you know what they might do though? They could go Paul George to the Suns,
make it a 3-team,
and Beal to Miami.
Beal to Philly.
Yeah, Bill says no to Miami because they said no to him a bunch of times. Bill, not I'm pretty sure that's probably what's holding up this trade. I'm almost 100% sure because Bill probably trying to get to the Bucks because he said no to the Heat when they said no to him. Because
Bill no trade clause is the craziest thing of all time because I'm pretty sure LeBron doesn't have a trade clause.
I think it's only Bill right now, right? No, Bill and Joel Embiid has one.
It's Beal. I don't think Embiid.
He doesn't have a no trade clause, but he has like a.
It is no. I did an article on this a while back. It is like Bradley, and then there's one Luke Cornett. Luke Cornett has a no trade clause. I'm so serious. He has a no trade clause. Not that we would trade him anyway, unless like I clearly better big was on the market. But anyway, I'm moving too slow. Let's move on to the next team. The Chicago Bulls. Sell. I'm as big of a sell on the Chicago Bulls as anyone could be.
Sell a couple pieces. Don't sell the vision. They got some young talent.
Who is the talent?
What young talent? I'm about to say
Who is worth building your franchise around?
Patrick Williams,
No one's worth. No one's
It
worth
was
building
LaVine
around.
probably 5 years ago. It was Zach LaVine, but you did a horrible job at it.
They should have built around Alex Caruso.
I agree. No, but there's no one on this team that's like off the market. Even Kobe White, because then you got to deal with his like a potential extension looming, and Josh Giddey's market is going to be very interesting because Giddey, I think averages like
playing well.
I'm gonna say like 13,
like 7 and
let's say
6, something like that.
Yeah, it's 11, 7, and 7.
Oh yeah, 7.
You're going to think of players that sit in that range. And then you're really not going to want to pay him because he doesn't close games.
Australia just breeds the same player, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's a defensive liability. He doesn't close games, but like for 3.5 quarters, yeah, he could look like a solid point guard. Ayo Dosunmu has certainly not built off the momentum he finished off with last year. Patrick Williams is not good at basketball.
Nope.
Nikola Vucevic has had a fine bounce-back season scoring and shooting the ball. I think there are some teams out there, like Chris said earlier, the Hawks could maybe use that. Zach LaVine has certainly bounced back from worst contract in the NBA allegations. He is absolutely amazing. And Kobe White's averaging 18. Kobe White's a solid scoring guard. I'm sure plenty of teams could use a guard like Kobe White. So I'm a big sell. You could get major aspects. Even now, even after all the years you've been fumbling, you could still get some solid assets back. Sorry, Chris, go ahead.
No. I was just saying the Magic would be a place for Kobe White to like any scoring guard, but yeah, I'm with you on that, bro. I think they need to sell, and I think you sell the 2 top guys, and then you see what you're gonna do with Giddey. Cause I think Giddey numbers look even better if Lonzo's not back, if he's not sharing the backcourt with all these guys, because they all their guards do the same thing besides Kobe White. They all want to rebound, push the ball, make passes and stuff. So I think it's just weird team construction because of the assets you gathered. So I think to help that, you got to, like you said, kind of sell off. Interesting team for the Suns. If the Suns were smart, I would try to see if Beal wants to waive his no-trade clause go to Chicago, and I would try to get Lonzo and Vooch. I think that'd be perfect money-wise. And I think it works for the team. But I think they need to sell, though, overall.
Yeah. And I will say one more thing is they kind of Ball, Kobe White, Giddey, I think –
same thing.
Get 2 of the 3 out of there immediately. And then as for like some other like, you have like Ayo Dosunmu, who's another guard, like he can get him out of there. And then guys sitting around the wing spot like Patrick Williams, like
Cambodia.
Get him out of here. Why is he playing 27 minutes a game and Modest Zubelis? Your Modest Buzelis, your first round pick is playing 12 minutes a game. That's another thing. If you really want to find out if you have a franchise player in Modest, other guys got to go so that he can move up the rotation, or you could just play him and bench other guys. But I digress. Moving on to these bottom feeders, let's try not to waste too much time here. We have the Sixers, Nets, Hornets, Raptors, Wizards. Are any of them not selling?
Yeah, the Sixers are staying.
The Sixers are staying. I agree. They might have to take a Grizzlies year, flush it with the injuries. Let's bounce back next year.
I mean, they could backdoor a 10 seed, but
and get that Akron Hammer. I mean,
I don't want them to, but like the reality is, if they get a favorable schedule,
we'll see. I agree with you though. They're probably a stay put, but Nets. You should be shopping Cam Johnson. Lots of teams want Cam Johnson. I think the Thunder should get Cam Johnson. We'll talk about that later. You already got rid of Dorian Finney-Smith. You are actively selling. You are selling. I don't even think anyone's up to debate. Hornets would be a weird one. I was kind of thinking before the season maybe a Mark Williams, especially when he got hurt again, but he's kind of turned into Wilt Chamberlain in the last couple games, so I'm not too
standing
sure.
Reaching the NBA, by the way, over Wemby. 9 feet 9 inches standing.
It's outstanding stuff, dude. Obviously, LaMelo and Brandon Miller are your players to build around. You'd like to keep Mark Williams, but other than that, I mean, who's really desirable? I mean, Trey Man's a good backup guard, but certainly he's not untradeable.
I think Miles Bridges helps a bunch of teams, like in the NBA today.
Miles Bridges
His
is probably
playstyle
their top piece.
helps a bunch of teams.
He's
Helps a
their
bunch
top piece.
That's
Obviously,
crazy
you
because
have the flack
you're
he
trading-
comes with of being a bad person, but
yeah, but I don't think a lot of NBA teams care about that.
yeah. Well, we know.
Trade
We
him
just
to the
talked about
Dallas
the
Cowboys.
Bulls.
They
Welcome
almost
to the
killed
Dallas
us.
Cowboys.
So okay. And the Raptors, they got a good young core. I mean, Bruce Brown is a you're a hold on Toronto. I'm not fully against it. I'm not fully against it because you have a franchise guy in Scotty Barnes. You have his franchise running mate in RJ Barrett.
That is true. I'm around.
Grady Dick is progressing as well as you can.
Increasing by the day.
Yes. Yes. You have Jakob Poeltl, always going to be a solid center, but he is a guy, if they were to sell, I'm sure teams will call about. And it really wouldn't hurt you going forward all too much. I mean, this season it will, but like thinking long term.
That's a name right there. Poeltl might be a good name.
And then you have like the stockiest bench backcourt of all time of Shed and Mitchell.
My boy.
Yeah.
And I think they hold on everything, but you sell the old guys. Like, get the older guys out of there.
Yeah, Kelly Olynyk can go.
Yeah.
Bruce Brown maybe could go.
Back to the Nuggets.
Garrett Temple's on the Raptors.
Dude,
he's on the Bucks. He's on the
funniest
Bucks, right?
thing, I still love
the.
I didn't know that, but funniest thing that I love to hear was Scotty Barnes. He's going to be the face of the league.
Who said that?
Yeah, he did. The Raptors head coach.
LeBron. Remember, he was like sounding off on the refs about how the Lakers had 23 free throws to the Raptors 2 or something like that.
Oh wow, I think I missed that because I can't believe somebody said
you
that.
missed that.
Oh yeah, that was last year.
Iconic
That was
interview last year.
They said Scotty Barnes be the face of the National Basketball Association.
Yep. He goes Scotty Barnes.
He don't play about Scotty, man. NBA. I'm like, I hate to break it to you. I think RJ Barrett might be more popular among American fans.
Does he play less about Scotty than Jim Harbaugh plays about Justin Herbert?
No. Harbaugh don't play about Herbert, bro. He really doesn't. But
he's like Scotty Barnes, the face of the NBA.
Yeah, get that brother out of here. Get him an iced team. He's got to calm down.
And then the Wizards are sell.
Yes.
Maybe keep Jordan. You can keep Jordan Poole. Keep Alex Sarr. But yeah, everyone else can.
Oh, and Bub Carrington. You got to keep my boy.
Oh, yes. And honestly, Koulibaly's been all right. But I mean, like,
he's okay.
You got a nice core there for a 6-win team.
Get Valanciunas and Brogdon up out of there.
Valanciunas is the most obvious. Get rid of him.
Just not to the Lakers, please, bro. Please. Just
you got young talent.
Brogdon back to Boston.
Keyshawn George, Malcolm Brogdon can go. Justin Champagnie can go. Kyle Kuzma can go. Yeah,
Kuzma can go.
Johnny Davis, you can just cut him. He's not good at basketball.
Yeah, send him and Patrick Williams on the same flight. They can both go. They're both not good at the sport.
Wait.
Yeah, definitely not.
Am I cooking or is this prison food? Kuzma to Philly.
We said what? Prison food. So weak.
I said Kuzma to Philly.
No, you already have enough fire there. You don't need to add a bad dresser to it. But I will say this though, it is a piece on Philly. I mean, on the Wizards that y'all can use.
Is it Brogdon?
Yeah, 100%. It is Brogdon. It is Brogdon.
I mean, he's just Shake Milton on steroids.
As we move to the West, trigger warning. There's a dog outside barking, and Bentley's at the window, so
he won't smoke with him.
Potential jump scare. He wants zero smoke. I promise you. He barks at everybody walking by, and the moment they get in the gate, he runs.
It's okay.
He's just a big softy, dude. Like he was about to get in a little altercation with Danny's dog going by. I promise you, if that gate was open, he wasn't doing nothing. Anyway, let's move to the West. Let's move bottom up on this one. The bottom 5 teams here, and one of them is certainly interesting. Jazz, Pelicans, Blazers, Spurs, Warriors. The Jazz, I think, should sell. Kind of Danny Ainge's thing anyway. The Pelicans, maybe there's a couple interesting ones. The Blazers, I kind of think are a hold.
Yeah.
I think they're a hold unless they can get something done with Ayton, but I think they're a hold.
Yeah, they're hold.
I think Aiden and Simons. I think both.
Simon, yeah, probably those two. But I mean, you really got like a Scoot Henderson has looked like a basketball player lately. I mean, that kind of changes everything. That changes everything.
Scoot and Shaden back there. Super athletes in the backcourt. Are y'all walking with me? Do you
And
have,
you lob to Rob Will.
do you have your point forward and Denny?
Rob Will and Klingon as your like they
Then you
got
draft
something going on there.
I'm
big stay. Unless you can find a deal for Simons and Ian.
Yeah.
Yo, Chris,
But Ian has like the most no value ever, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Ace Bailey getting drafted by them actually.
It don't matter. Anybody 6'10" and up, I'm cool with going to the Blazers with how they go. Anybody 6'8" and up, I'm cool with Bailey, Asa Newell. It's some college names coming up, y'all.
You know the problem? The Pelicans. Why would an 18-year-old want to go to Portland?
A couple reasons.
I mean, I know a once great 18-year-old that wanted to go to Cleveland. Wants to go to Cleveland for vacation.
Not I.
LeBron did.
Nah, he didn't go for vacation. He stayed home. He lived there.
He lived there. Moved a couple hours over. But the Pelicans are a weird one. So last year with Zion playing 72 games, they're in the play-in. And not to be if man, but if he doesn't mess up his hamstring, I mean, they're in the middle of like a crazy comeback against the Lakers. Now, of course, LeBron's on the other side of it. He probably wasn't letting that happen. But now they just get struck with injury after injury after injury. I don't necessarily – I think they're a hold kind of by default like Philly. It's just like, let's flush it. Let's go to next year.
I'm with that 100%.
They might be even worse than the Grizzlies last year, dude. Like they're so bad they found out they have a center for next year. Like that's how bad their injuries have been. But
my boy Yves Messi. That's my boy.
And they got a little something out of Brandon Boston Jr. I mean,
all I'm saying is he's a hooper. He's a pure hooper. He
can hoop. He can hoop. He'll be in the rotation next year. The Spurs, with how young their key pieces are,
I want to say buy, but like not for this year. You want to buy for like the future.
Like,
no,
you buy LaMelo Ball. That's what you buy. You go get a point guard today. You don't wait. You draft this something, but you go get a point guard today. That's the only buying I would do.
Trae Young.
Either Trae or LaMelo. Either or. I would, but that's the only buying I'm doing. If not, I'm staying pat.
I'm a stand pat for them. And then this is probably going to be the most interesting one we talk about today, the Golden State Warriors. They've just blatantly said they're standing pat.
Sell. They both.
They should sell.
They both.
Now, I have two answers. From an emotional standpoint,
they can't.
Sell Draymond, but keep Curry on the Warriors. From a logical thing, you could get so much for Steph Curry. Send him to LA. But I think they're a sell. I don't know how hard they're going to sell. I don't even think they will, but I think they should sell.
Yo, the Suns could be the funniest thing ever.
The Suns should go trade KD for Curry?
No, Beal.
Just trade for Curry. Curry, KD, and Book. I mean, hey,
that might be the best big three of all time.
Nope. James Harden, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving existed.
Yeah, they were gonna run through the NBA. They were really gonna do it.
You told me Curry, KD.
Yes, a better version of Kevin Durant, a Kyrie that's probably a better player than Curry is at this moment, at the very least, and James Harden, who decided probably not better than this book, but hey, the fat suit was off. Let me say that.
Yes, I'm saying if you go point Harden and shooting guard Kyrie with KD, I don't know if it's another three. But I do like that book. That book, KD and Curry would be.
They only lost one game healthy together. Those playoffs.
Foot on the line didn't count.
No, not that game. It wasn't that game. They weren't all healthy for that game. Kyrie was hurt that whole series.
Yeah, Kyrie was out.
There's only one man who could beat all three of them healthy in a playoff setting.
I just seen that on Twitter today too. That just
Mr. Tatum.
The anomaly.
Yes.
The Green Mamba. That's what
The Duke of Boston. Yes,
The Green
I
Mamba.
know. Okay,
The
so
Deuce of
we're
Boston.
selling
Call him the
Warriors.
Deuce of Boston.
Let's get into some of these play-in teams.
Oh,
The Suns are actively trying to buy.
Yep.
I would argue they should sell.
They should do both. Sell to buy.
Buy Jimmy Butler, but sell Kevin Durant.
And
so
get
you stay
Nurkic
where you are.
out of there. Please get Nurkic to you. You know what? It's room on that flight, that Patrick Williams flight. It's room on that one. We put Nurkic on that flight too. He gotta go.
I see. I think the Suns are going to buy, so I'm not really going to try to fight it. I'm going to say buy. You have Kevin Durant. You have Devin Booker. Let's try to make some things happen.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah.
All right. Timberwolves are an interesting one because I think they should buy using what you just got this offseason.
Yep. I agree. 100%.
That's what I think.
I just don't think they're good. I think they're Ant and friends.
You swap Julius. That's because they had Julius Randle. You swap Julius Randle and Jordan Poole. Everybody's happy.
Bro, I've been telling Knicks fans. I said Julius Randle's not good at basketball. No, he's not. He's an all-star.
You know what he was.
But you know how it feels for a player who maybe might not be that good, who got you out of the gutter.
But he's good as a one option because
I understand that. That's fine.
So he's good as your one guy, but you're not gonna win them like other players.
Bro, him and Rudy Gobert together might be the worst duo of all time.
I'm a buy for the Timberwolves. Your franchise player is way too good. Your defense is way too good. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Jaden McDaniels may or may not have to be on one of these deals. He simply is a phenomenal defender, but I'm going to give you Jared Vanderbilt allegations, dude. Like your offense will not grow for nothing. It won't. At some point, Ant and Rudy, yes, are like leaving this team in the dust at some point. Like Rudy is an all-world talent on the defensive side of the ball, and Anthony Edwards is just an all-world talent in general. And no one else is progressing well. Like Dante DiVincenzo hasn't been his New York Knicks self.
Trade him back.
Better late than he was at the start. But Julius Randle, just simply what people used to think was like, no, this is kind of like an even trade. No, it's not. No, Karl-Anthony Towns, much better player.
Knicks won. So
yeah. So okay, now we have the Mavericks are the 7th seed. They're a weird one because they're only the 7th seed because Kyrie and Luka are swapping injuries.
Sell.
You think they're a sell?
Only, and when I say sell, it's sell some of those loose random pieces. Because this year's
Maxi Kleber,
PJ Washington.
Is room on that? No, PJ's got to stay. Is room on that flight? Kleber, no, it's 2 people from the Mavs getting on that flight. Kleber's getting on that flight 100%. He probably
Dwight Powell's got it.
Oh,
Dwight Powell is such a he's such a Nick Collison merchant. If Nick Collison never existed, they would have been traded him.
And your Gafford, he not getting traded no more.
No,
yeah, especially with Lively's injury, I don't think you can afford to trade Gafford.
Really good backup though. Lively would be the best backup on every team. It's just he's not good against starters. But
I say he starts in this Philadelphia 76ers. He's better than Embiid.
Yo, agreed. I say.
Yeah. I would sell though, only because I feel like this year is kind of lost, and I would just sell off. Not like the Clay or not nothing crazy, but like the people who are on one year deals or who have play options. I would get off of them and just try to work at them.
I think I'm a stand pat. They were easily one of the best teams healthy. I think you can stand pat, and the only move you could have made was maybe move Gafford for an upgrade, maybe a stretch center, but can't anymore. Lively's hurt, and I think he's going to be hurt.
3 months.
Yeah, like you can't do it. I think they'll find a way to survive, though. Luka will be back soon. Kyrie's already back. Clay's in and out of the lineup with an ankle, but
what's Luka going to do?
Here's the more interesting one, though. What was that, Danny?
What's Luka going to do without that lob threat?
Yeah, he's going to be Luka Doncic, dude. They're going to be good. He was out there hooping with 86-year-old Dirk Nowitzki.
I will say this, though, about the Luka thing and Kyrie. Kyrie said that he feels like if he falls like the wrong way, he's going to need surgery. That's really the only reason why I said, because he has that slip disc in his back. That's really the only reason why I said sell, because I feel like and they said Luka's out at least 2 more weeks. And they got a really rough next 2 weeks. They got some bad teams after that, but like the next 2 weeks are really, really rough. Like, say they come out of this next 2 weeks like 2-9. I think they're one of the teams where you got to see what happens in the next 10 games.
I can see where you're coming from. Yeah, like they could be like maybe some deadline day decisions. Now the Kings before this like 15 game stretch were the most obvious sell, free De'Aaron Fox, get Sabonis a new home. Now they've won 9 of their last 10. They're 22-20, sitting at the 8th seed. Now you have no clue what to do with it because how high will they keep going? Will they jump in to top 6 seed territory again? I think if that's their trajectory, I think they need to buy because this team clearly is constructed, cannot compete in the West on a top level, But I think you have some pieces that you can maybe turn into like a high end player or maybe some good role players.
Yeah,
I'm buying for them.
They're a sell for me. I think they should just sell at the high point. You get all these players.
Sell at the high point. That's another good way to look at it. But I know yours is masked with the Sabonis hate because he's
not about
Sabonis
at all. Sabonis would be better on any other team. I just think this team is it's a crapshoot.
That's gold coming from the Sixer fan. Where the Kings are in a much better spot than you guys. So
I didn't say we're better. I'm just saying
the King. I don't know how you could call the Kings a crapshoot right now. They're the hottest team in the NBA. Like legit the hottest team in the NBA. Like no one's playing better than them right now since they fired Mike Brown.
They have interim coach boost, like you say in football.
Sure, we'll go with that.
It's supposed to wear off though within like 2 weeks. Them boys riding like a 4-week look.
10 games, Chris.
Yeah,
give another week or two.
It is certainly not just 10 games. I can assure you of that.
Yeah, I think they've been on the road, but I see where you're coming from though. I think with me for the Kings, I don't know. I think, and same thing I was saying with a bunch of these other teams, it's no real where to upgrade. Like, it's nothing available that even makes sense. Like, the people that are available are wings, and you got DeRozan, Fox, and Malik Monk. You don't really need a wing. If anything, you need a center to put Simone's at the 4 or a stretch 4 to have Sabonis really be able to stretch the center. But none of that stuff's available. Now, I'd be interested, and now this may sound crazy, but I'd be interested in Vucevic over there to give him a stretch center. I'd be interested. But with the NBA today, it's rough on spacing, just as a whole, but I'd be interested in something like that. But I don't really think it's nothing for them to do. Probably should just stay.
Now we get to our top 6 seeds here. There's some pretty interesting ones. The Lakers should be buyers. They should be buying, but they won't.
Any team that has LeBron James should be buying. Let's be honest.
I agree. I agree. But you do also have to fear with the inconsistency that they've had this year. It's like they'll go on a rough stretch. It's like, we got to protect these picks. Like, I know we have LeBron, and we have Anthony Davis, but it's just like, we're so inconsistent. And then they'll give you the 5-game stretch where it's like, oh, these dudes are back. These dudes are, they can win a title. This is 2020. The inconsistency kind of puts them in the stand pat, unfortunately.
Are we too rough on Darvin Ham?
No. He was not a good
JJ Redick is miles better than Darvin Ham with basically the same roster. Literally. With having to play Max Christie.
NBA minutes. That playing got room. Max and his brother can get on there if they have to. But I'll say this.
Is this a commercial flight at this rate?
No, brother, we're going to have to rent a private because something is going to happen. But I think
DJ on the way.
Yeah, I think my thing with the Lakers is I'm with you on protecting the pick. I always understand that. You got to protect your assets. I get that. My only thing with that is, what if the draft is Ricochet at 1 and everybody, like, what if it's another draft like that? Like, what are you really waiting on those picks for? But then again, it could be a draft where it's Anthony Edwards, LaMelo. Like, I get it. Like that type of draft. I get it. But I think if you're going to have LeBron the contract there with Anthony Davis, I think you got to go all in. Kind of what Danny was speaking on. Like, bro, a team with LeBron James on it and Anthony Davis, you have to. You just have to. That's just like a part of the bullet you got to bite at that point of having a team like this.
You got 2 of the 4 Power Rangers. Go get a third.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could say, one would say Austin Reeves is the Yellow Ranger.
I love Austin Reeves. That's my guy.
Next one is the team down the road. The team down the road, the Clippers, who are 24-18. I think they should stand pat.
Yeah, I'm with you on that too. I think still
I
is
think
stand
they
pat.
should stand pat. Selling would I don't want to buy because you probably got to give up like Norman Powell for what, a third star? How'd that work out for you guys last time? You know,
Stormy Norman.
I like
Norman's
James
good.
Harden playing inefficient hero ball. Kawhi Leonard has come back and seemingly not missed a step, which is a rare thing for him. Usually it takes him some games to get ready. He's looked really good. Of course, Norman Powell has been amazing this year. Zubac has looked amazing this year. I say stand pat. Don't try to get fancy. You're deep. You got good coaching. I like what they got going on.
Intuit Dome.
Free Bones though.
It's intuition and Intuit Dome.
Free Bones.
Free
It's my guy. It's my guy.
He's a rapper.
Yeah.
Bones actually has good songs too.
He's a part-time NBA player.
Next
one, the next one, I think you probably would have said sell a couple weeks ago, but I think they might be a stand pat. Denver Nuggets. Ever since Russ was plugged into the starting lineup, 17
why
and 6.
Why do you think they were a sell?
I thought they were a sell a couple weeks ago because the shooting was bad. There was a lot of rumors on what you could maybe do with Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr. with their contracts.
Yeah. I know what they are. I know what they can be at best. I was always stand pat. Let them play.
Fine. That's fine. I think that's fine. Their depth was very, very questionable, especially with,
If anything, I could argue buy. Go get another depth piece.
Well, buying. Well, okay.
Buy out market.
I was buy. Mm-hmm. I'm saying they should buy, but it's gonna involve Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon, which for any other team is also buying. So
that's why I think it's more like a stand pat for me. Kind of just get some of the buyout market for like Bruce Brown type guys.
Yeah, but I think I'm with you on the buy too.
Top three teams probably have the assets to buy. We have the Grizzlies, the Rockets, the Thunder, and I think the Rockets might be the most intriguing one out of all of these.
Yeah, I think they all stand pat, except for the Rockets.
I agree. The one person I would love to see OKC go get is Cam Johnson, like I said earlier. But if things don't align, they don't align. This is the best. This has been the best team in the NBA all year, so not necessarily in a rush to do anything. But the Thunder are like a step ahead of the Rockets in that we know what works for us. We know what good young players we're going to pay. Obviously, Shea, Chet, and J-Dub are our three guys. And then we got some other young pieces that, could stick around. They're certainly not Cason Wallace, Aaron Wiggins, Jay Will. These are a bunch of other guys that are nice, but maybe we could move them and still live. The Rockets are slowly – I think the Rockets are slowly starting to figure that out. Jalen Green, Şengün, Amin Thompson, Jabari Smith, those are like our guys. Cam Whitmore can go. I know it's kind of early, but Reed Shepherd can go. He has been able to crack. I don't think it's too early. Chris, how many times did we say during that draft show, Reed Shepherd really just went third overall?
Because he's not good, Daniel. I'm sorry. He's not bad. He's not bad.
He can't crack rotational minutes on a team that's starting Fred VanVleet.
And it needs guards. That's what I'm saying. Reed Shepherd's not. He's not that. He's a good shooter.
On a team that needs good guard minutes, and he's playing in the G League. Look, if Reed
was 6'6", he'd be Grady Dick. And that's really just what it is. And that's not bad. It's just you will move off of Grady Dick that you wouldn't be like, oh, I'm keeping Grady. You would move off of him. So that's what I'm saying with Reed. I like him as a prospect, bro. I think if you can go get a guy and you think that's like the last piece, and if they want Reed, I'd easily throw him in there. Like I see.
Yeah, but if we're talking about a guard that really isn't going to play like crazy defense, he's going to try to play good defense. Like, what's the difference between him and McCain then?
Who?
McCain is the by far best scorer of this rookie class.
No, I agree, but McCain
and Reed's thing is shooting. Reed's thing is shooting, and Jared's better than him at that.
Yeah, I mean Jared's the best shooter in the class, but
best shooter in the class, absolutely better playmaker than Reed Shepherd,
and
absolutely better defender than Reed Shepherd.
That was supposed to be Reed calling card being the best shooter, so I think that looks a little not bad, but it's just like if you're not the best shooter, what are you?
Jimmer.
If
what happened to Connect 4?
He's taking a dip a little bit. Shooting splits are nasty lately, but we hang in there though. At least he's getting minutes. You got to shoot your way out of it.
Yeah, rookie wall. It's just Reed didn't have a chance to hit the rookie wall. He ain't been playing yet. Because so his rookie wall will come year 2, and that'll suck because people
And
like
Ime loves players that don't deserve to play. So if you're not playing, that means you're really not playing. But I think with Reed, I think with the picks they have with Cam Whitmore, I think they could really go get a player.
They got Jayshawn Tate's deal. They got Adams' deal that they can move. They got a couple bigger deals at the bottom.
They got it good over there. They really got it good over there, especially when Jalen Green starts acting like a NBA star that he's supposed to. When he starts acting like someone who belongs in Cade Cunningham conversations, which those are on his better nights. But well, with every single team out of the way, we can move on to our next segment, which is, does this person need a fresh start? Do they need to just grind it out with their team, or does it not really matter? I have let's see how many names I got here. Got about 7, 8 names that we'll run through. And I want you guys to let me know what you think. First one is the most obvious one. Zion Williamson. Does he need a fresh start? Is it just the New Orleans air? Does he need to grind it out for one more year, as they're basically already flushing this year anyway? Or is this just going to be what Zion is? A injury prone, but when he's in there, amazing basketball player.
Yeah, I'm spraying the cologne. He's trying to get freshened up. He's getting a fresh start.
Needs a fresh start. Where would you like to see him?
Where would I like to see him? I'd like to see him in LA.
Okay. Which one?
Either.
Sending him to the people that take care of Kawhi Leonard would not be in his best interest.
Sending him to with LeBron James and Anthony Davis would be an all-in move for the Lakers that I could see working.
The people who cry for 2000s basketball would be jumping for joy if those three share a court.
Maybe it's a reason I like Russell Westbrook and Ja Morant. I just like 2000s yam on someone basketball.
It's not even yam on someone ball. Like, dude, Anthony Davis is gonna hit a skip pass to the elbow from the low post to Zion. Chris, what do you think though for Z?
Fresh start, and I like to see him in one place and one place only. Back home,
Memphis
ish. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. But back home ish in Carolina, in Charlotte to the Hornets. Either him or Brandon Ingram. They're both from the Carolina area. Zion being from South Carolina. But I think Zion there could be their piece. Like we were just talking about how Bridges can be expendable and other guys. I think that would be the move for them. There you go, Brandon Miller, Zion, LaMelo. Now, yes, you do have 200 prone stars. I get it. But you're selling tickets for one, and you could fight for playing and better. Especially if the Pistons did it. You add a couple of veterans to those three guys. I think they can do it. I feel
like Zion would kill him, dude. Zion might kill Melo. I feel like they're so opposite personalities.
Do you remember summer 2018 or 19? Those two sold out a gym when it was Big Ballers versus
South Carolina South Carolina Attack.
Yeah.
I remember the game videos being posted all over Instagram. I remember.
Yeah, that was the epitome of like best AAU team on the circuit versus LaMelo and friends.
Literally.
It was a banger though.
But I think it'd be cool though, because then you get to get up and down. You get to have some highlights, when they're healthy. Like I said, if what he's done with Miles Bridges, the athleticism there, like, bro, I think that'd be at the end of the day, at least be a show, and you can try to make the playoffs, especially in the East at the bottom half of it. I'd try it.
Yeah, I could.
I think those are both fair takes. I think I'm team just grind it out just one more year, just because this whole team is taking an L by default this year. I'm willing to give it one more year. Now, that wasn't the case if like they weren't playing injuries and he's just in and out of the lineup and they're middle of the pack. I'm like, I'll be like, yeah, like, we can move on. Let's go to this. Let's go to this next player. Kyle Kuzma. Are we? I don't even think fresh start would be the word for him, because it's not like we know what he is on a good team.
It's over.
But fresh start. What's over about
not his career, but I don't think Kyle Kuzma can be a legitimate option on a good team.
Well, what do we mean legitimate? Because no one's going to trade for him to be the second star.
I mean, I
He
don't
would
think he'd
be
be a
at
third
most.
star.
He would well. I mean, he was the third scorer for the Lakers, and sometimes you don't need to be a team's third star. You don't even need to be a team's third option. You just need to be the team's. You need to be the third leading scorer on the team, and that's your job. But I would say fresh start. Get him on a team where, and yeah, no, he's not putting up 18 shots a game. We don't need that. But when with the Lakers, he learned how to run the floor, defend, rebound. And when it's time with the Wizards, he's learned to take over and score when he needs to. It's not the prettiest sight, but I would say fresh start. Get him on maybe like a mid-level contender, maybe high-end contender that could make the most of his talents. I don't want to see him with the Wizards anymore for both parties' sake.
Yeah. Mutual agreement.
Yeah, I don't think it's fresh start, but I think it's a new place. It's 3 places I like to see him: Dallas, Milwaukee, or Memphis. I think those are teams that are trying to win. I think he can really contribute to what they need as far as just scoring and just being a bigger body. So I like that.
This is a name that Chris provided. All of these names are, but Jeremy Grant.
Stay put.
It's so Jover. It's Jover.
It's over.
Because nobody wants that deal, dude. If he was on a deal making $18 million, if he didn't get that ridiculous like extension, I mean, in comparison, I think he'd be probably one of the most sought after people on the market because he can be your 4th or 5th addition to your team and put you over the top. But you're not paying him 30 something million. You're not doing that. Not to be your 3rd or 4th guy.
Tobias
So
Harris contract? No.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's like over for Jeremy Grant. This is definitely still a good basketball player, but I think he by default has to grind it out.
Yeah.
Unless the Blazers look amazing next year with this young talent, and it's like, you know what, let's go swap you for like a actual good player.
You know what this feels like? It feels, you know, that a couple years ago when the Patriots had like a bunch of money and they spent it on like bad players. That's what it feels like. The Blazers had a bunch of money and they spent it on an average player.
Yeah, you gotta spend it somewhere. So I get it. Let's move on to this next name. Going in the bundle of hats, or the going into the hat, trying to pick out a piece of paper. Larry Markkinen. Let's go Larry Markkinen for our 4th name here.
I like him having a fresh start. I think we talked about him have a potentially fresh start last year in the offseason. He was rumored to go to Philly. He was rumored to go to San Antonio. He was rumored to LA. So I think him being traded could be like a Kristaps moment in Boston.
Yeah. And Larry Markkinen is still hooping. He's doing his thing and not, I think the fresh start is more like a free him. I'm sure of course he's going to have a different role on a contender, but like maybe he likes hooping in Utah. Maybe that's just, I like losing, but I like averaging 20 and I like the big bucks they give me.
I mean, that's why I say like a Kristaps role in Boston, like different role, but he's still doing him.
Yeah. I mean, I think the difference is like Kristaps still is like a big piece of the offense. Like they're like early in the game, there's not a better play that the Celtics have than a Kristaps Porzingis post up.
Interesting piece for the Atlanta Hawks to get when we mentioned them, Larry Markkinen.
That would be a very interesting name, and I think he's one of the most seamless fits of any guy that could be on the trade market. What do you think for
Big L?
I think I might have
the big L.
I think I might have texted something different, but as I've been thinking about it while y'all was talking, I'm with the fresh start, but I think I kind of want him to hang in there. And y'all know I do love Keontae George. I do. He could be in the mix as they get it together. He could be. I mean, it takes time. It will take time, obviously. I don't see them being good no time soon, but he could be there. But also, too, I like to see him in a place we can contribute to winning. Do you know the place I really would want to see him, though? I want to see him in Miami. Next to Bam. Because then I feel like a lot of because Lauri Markkanen rebounds well when he doesn't have to defend the best guy or the best like post guy. So I think that would be really good for the Heat. But other than that, I just would like to see like either that, like that type of move to a contender to where he can go and be like a big piece, or just kind of stay it out because they have a lot of young guys who may or may not be something we just don't know yet. So
yeah, you know what's crazy though? None of us has mentioned that we want a player to be on the Nets.
they're not ready to do nothing yet.
We don't wish for anyone to be on the. I mean, like it's not like Cam Johnson, get that brother on a new team.
Nick Claxton,
Ben Simmons. Okay. For our sixth name, Ben Simmons.
First start.
I went the fresh start. I think
have to say fresh start.
He provided. As much as I love Philly, he's been showing me some. He got some juice
right now, bro.
I mean, I've always been a fan.
If Ben Simmons wasn't making $40 million a year, if he was making 18, every team would be trying to trade for him.
I wish the NBA had cap restructure like the NFL, contract restructures.
Yeah, where like the Nets could pay his contract, but like
yeah.
But it's like the whole point of the Nets wanting to deal him would be like, no, take the contract.
Yeah, and it's only 1 year left too. This is the last year. So if they were to buy him out or something like that, he would probably be one of the most sought out people on that market just because of 6'10" speed, strength. Like you try it.
Y'all gonna be so sick when Joe Mazzulla gets his hands on him.
Bro, LeBron is going to fulfill the prophecy and finally play with Ben Simmons like he wanted to. Like,
I wouldn't mind.
When did he ever want to play with Ben?
Do you remember
Simmons?
that? Bro,
no, that is a Philadelphia 76er headcanon.
Right. Cowherd said that everybody ran with it. And then Cal also said, LeBron, we're good. We got Ben Simmons now. We're good.
The LeBron even wanting to go to the Sixers is a complete headcanon made up by their own fans. Do you really think he was gonna make Bronny play at Malvern Prep?
Yeah, Chris. Malvern, bro. They were like LeBron. They're like Bronny is touring Malvern Prep. There were rumors.
Malvern Prep with St. Joe's and Emotep down the road. You got to be kidding. You got to be joking. Yeah, no way.
He'd probably rather go to the Haverford School more than Malvern Prep.
They was gonna send Bronny to Chester, play some real hoops.
Yeah, no shot. No shot.
Here, last name. Actually, no, we'll go two more names. Jonathan Kuminga.
Keep stay at home. Hang in there, buddy.
Hang in there for the post Steph Curry era. Then it's finally your turn.
Yeah, well, they're gonna trade Draymond. I think Kuminga is gonna be the only piece they're holding on to.
Okay. I'm. See, if I say he's fresh start, I'm also pro Warriors buying. I mean, can you keep Curry and Draymond and like I don't know, yeah, because if I say fresh start, that means they're buying. They're probably going to get like a real star if they're willing to give up Kuminga, even though his value is very wonky at this point. But
yeah, they're gonna get Giannis. Remember the Giannis to the Warriors?
Golden State, yeah.
That's before they found out Podziemski sucked. Like I told everybody, they sucked.
No fresh start for that, brother. That dude's not
Mr.
good. But
Schroeder,
I think he deserves a fresh start to really prove what he can do.
Yeah.
So I know his value's wonky, but I think he's good.
Yeah. I would like to see a fresh start too, but then again, I don't know if it makes sense even trade for a big star. So I probably have to go and hang in there too. And you can just be the new face once Steph and Dre are done. Especially if they give you extension now, you get that 5-year one something. You can still team could be bad. Nobody cares for 2 years because you're still just waiting on Curry to be gone. I would probably stay back.
Yeah, certainly not mad at that. And then the last name, but there were some other names we were considering, but I think we kind of Bradley Beal. He is in either fresh start, obviously, or this is just what the Bradley Beal we're going to see for the rest of our lives. Chris Middleton, a lot of the same thing, kind of. He's more like this is just what Chris Middleton is at this point, but he's most likely going to stay. But the final name that I would like to throw out from this bundle of names, man, I really can't pick one. These are a lot of good names. Most of these are provided by Chris.
3. Pick name number 3.
Nah, that one's not like too enticing though. I'll go the one before that. Zach LaVine.
I mean, he's got to go, right? It's clear.
Yeah, this is a clear fresh start. That dude jumps out the gym, but he can't get out the birdcage.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think fresh start too. To a team.
What are your thoughts on Joel Embiid?
Retire.
No, come on now.
No, I'm not joking. Retire. It's not going to get any better. It's like same thing like when we watched Brandon Roy career just dissipate and he went from being elite to playing the Timberwolves and being a shell of himself. Embiid's body does not hold up for 82 games. It just will not. It will not. And
he was good in the Olympics.
I think
was he good or was he with the best
good is a stretch.
He
held us down for that third quarter in Serbia. Shout out to him. Good is a stretch.
He played 6 good quarters out of a whole Olympic stretch. And this is my thing.
Okay, he was moving fine though, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
But why did he do that?
Look what that got you. Now the team
just ruined his whole season.
Now you're wasting Max's prime. Or get into Max's prime, you're wasting it. You wasted your money on Paul George. Joel Embiid needs to retire to help himself because he can't get through 82 games. He can't play back-to-backs. Why on earth do I want my best player to not play back-to-backs or 2 games in 3 days? Any of the hard stretches where you need your best guy, he's not available. So why?
Thank you, bro. The Sixers have built like the Antichrist to the Knicks. They're like, yo, you want to play every game and every minute? Yo, we got guys that can't play basketball.
I think by default, because they are flushing it this season, kind of with Z, I'd like to see Embiid get one more crack at it with the Sixers. If not, though, it's over. You can either retire, as Chris suggested, or you are just going to be slowly playing less games every single year. And unfortunately, the 31, 12, and 6 monster that we saw from 2020 to about 2023, we will have no recollection of. And we're just going to remember the bad times. I'm going to remember the bad times regardless. But
I'm going to talk. What I'll tell you is this:
save yourself at least the rest of this season.
The dunk that he attempted against the Knicks, where he threw it off the backboard and dunked, that literally is going to ruin his career.
What ruined his career is listening to Twitter trolls and going out there to play the Warriors. That is what ruined it. He literally let Denver Nugget Twitter trolls troll him into playing a game that he had no business being on the floor. I do also want to say though, I've laughed at the bit that he hasn't played in Denver in a while. I've laughed at the bit. This time specifically though,
he's hurt.
Like, come on. He's hurt every time allegedly, but this one, like,
he's actually hurt.
Yeah, like, come on. This is.
How do you know he's actually hurt though? That's my thing. Like, all BS aside, like, when do you know he's because he's always limping, whether he's healthy or not. I just don't know when he's healthy or not. I just never know.
I guess he never is at this rate.
Chris, the thing is, you know the thing about this Embiid is they drafted him and he was like this. It's not like he like changed. He's been like this since they drafted him.
When y'all drafted him, he had a Kobe-esque fadeaway. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, he still got that, John.
That boy,
he still got it.
But it was faster. Like, it was kind of similar thing with Tatum. Of course, you get bigger, you look a little less fluid. Except this year, Tatum kind of just looks like someone lifted 2 tons off his shoulders. That's probably what happens when you win a championship. But
that literally,
we did it.
We did it.
I think Joel. He needs to like. I wouldn't play another game this season though. Just because there's no point.
I agree.
At best, you getting in the play-in, then you playing more games. Like, I forgot who said that, but like, bro, at best, you getting the play-in. Then you got to play more games just to get in.
And then you got to play the Cavs or the Celtics. So
then you got to play the Cavs and Celtics for 4 games, and then get swept, and then we'll hear the
for
same
4
thing.
games.
It's like, bro, it just doesn't make sense. Now, Gershon, you have earned yourself more money next year from a team. He's gonna get a 3-year, $35 million deal. I see it. I remember with this day. But Joel Embiid,
ditch KO. KO, you can go. Gershon, stay.
KO's the best wing on y'all team, including Paul George. Respect Kelly Oubre. Respect.
I love Kelly Oubre. We just unfortunately can't keep it.
Oh, yeah, he can't be paid. Yeah, true.
That's fair. But that's all the names I got for us. And that's pretty much everything we have for the episode. But yeah, as always, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Those listening
Welcome
on
to
audio.
episode 2 on the
Yeah.
Sideline Summit section of the Belly Up Sports.
Yeah. And while you're here, go check out all the other wonderful shows we have here. Go check out, if you're a big soccer fan, I know we have Insert Name FC podcast. They're a big one. But nonetheless, enough of the shout outs. Again, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, go to the description, you'll see our personal channel, leave a like, subscribe, audio platform, do y'all thing. AP New Freezer, Culture by Amigos, DC Comics. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys on Monday.
Saquon Barkley MVP.